Okay, guys, in this moment, I want to introduce the topic the tag questions. So, what is the main idea of the tag questions? The tag question is used in order to confirm or to reaffirm some information that you have, suitable information that you have heard, that you have read, or that you have read, in order to know or to be clear and specify on this. So remember, and the tag questions that are when you finish in a positive, that is the statement is going to be in a negative. How is it? For example, you know that the tag questions are divided into parts. The statement that is to reaffirm something, that you say something that is sure, or maybe that is real, and the tag question that you have said about the confirmation or the reaffirmation about that statement. Yep. For example, he is my teacher. Notice my intonation. It is not he is my teacher, isn't he? No, no, no. Remember, that is a statement. That is he is my teacher. Yep. That question is isn't he? Notice that the subject, the same subject looking and written in the statement or said in the statement, is going to be the same subject here in the question tag. So, or the tag question, whatever you prefer. He is my teacher. Remember the statement. Isn't he? If here it is in positive, here we know that it is in negative. Marta isn't my aunt. Is she? Why is she? When we refer Marta, we talk about a person, a woman. Yep. For the reason is like she. Like she. Yep. Well, for the reason we use Marta isn't my aunt. Is she? For that reason, I said another example is she is my aunt. She isn't my aunt. Is she? Yeah, looking for this. For example, we have to say this. They study English virtually, don't you? Why here it is not is or aren't or I'm not? So no. Here we said because study is an action verb. An action that somebody or those people, those kind of people, they they develop. For example, study is an action verb. So we have to use the auxiliary verb do that is here. But is here we have in positive, we have to say here in negative. Good? Now, we continue. We don't run into the street, do we? So that is the opposite. We start here in negative and we say here in a positive. But why here don't? Remember when we are in a present simple, we have to use the base form of the verb, but the auxiliary verb in negative, that is don't. For example, I don't, we don't, you don't, we don't, he doesn't, she doesn't. For example, doesn't. Yes. For that in this case, we don't run into the street, do we? Yes. We have to know. I have to go to the bathroom, shall I? So we have to use shall just in the use of I. When we are going to use I we use shall. No, I'm not I or haven't. Yep. Or do. Just that is looking for a permission. When we say that, we know that. Yep. For example, here we recognize something here. We are writing the tags for the next class, aren't we? So remember, here we are going to use the present continuous, the ing, but with the verb to be. If the verb is just with the ing, it is not a present continuous. The present continuous in that case is with the verb to be in present before the ing. Good? So we are writing the task for the next class, aren't we? So we are going to be here in positive and here in negative. Good. We say that, for example, as I told you, Carolina, or if I want to say she, Carolina comes to the class. No, Carolina comes to the class. That is a statement. Yep. Carolina comes to the class. Doesn't she? Why doesn't? Because it is an action verb. Comes is an action verb. And he doesn't. Negative, here in positive, negative. The same case. Okay. Here is Carolina. It's the same case if we say she. She comes to the class, doesn't she? Yep. The same case happens with Carlos. Carlos or he. For example, he told me that he was sick, didn't he? Yep. When you are like call attention the attendance in a class or something like that, you say, hey, I cannot see that person. So I want to say, hey, Carlos told me that he was sick, didn't he? Like to confirming something. You have to confirm that information. Como Carlos me dijo que estaba enfermo, ¿verdad? ¿Verdad? ¿Cierto? ¿En serio? Why not really? Really also is an informal way. But here really is going to be like into the streets. Yep, you say something in like academically it could works, but it's better to use the third question more than really. Really is like when you are with your friends. Okay, you were looking at the board. Yep, you were looking at the board. That is an affirmation, asserting a statement. Weren't you? A confirmation is here. For example, we say here in the present simple. So in order to remember this, when that like a structure or something, in order to be like to be easier to write something in present simple, we have to use the subject, like I, you, we, they, the verb that is the action, or the word that develops the action, and the complement that is the rest of the sentence. For example, we say here, I am your teacher. Shall I? Yep. So we are going to use the present simple here. The verb to be. Remember the verb to be with I is am. I am your teacher. Yo soy tu profesor. ¿Cierto? First person. In that case, you say you are my students, aren't you? Why not here one person? Because the students refer to a plural way. We say that more than one. Yep. In second person, we are at home, aren't we? Or for example, we have to use the verb the third person. We use she. Oh no, sorry, he. He is my new neighbor, isn't he? We use the third person that is he, and the verb to be that accompanies the he is. Yep. Remember, the use of the present continuous when we use subject plus the auxiliary verb, that is going to be the verb to be in continuous ways or in continuous tenses. When we want to use, we have to use them with the verb to be, the auxiliary verb, and the verb with the ing and the complement. For example, I, that is the subject, am, that is the verb to be, doing, the verb with the ing, the homework, shall I? They are thinking of the city's situation, aren't? We miss here what? Exactly that. They. We miss they. So the complete sentence could be, they aren't thinking of the city's situation, aren't they? Perfect. Here, he is reading 2 books per week, isn't he? Okay, remember, subject, the same subject. But auxiliary verb, or here, the verb to be, and on the other part is like the way that you have to reaffirm here. The same case or the same situation happens with the past simple. When we used to he wrote a letter during the last weekend. But here, remember, the auxiliary verb of the past simple is going to be did. But why didn't? Because here is in positive way, but in a past. He wrote a letter during last weekend. So last weekend, he wrote a letter. in order to confirm something, you just have to use the question in past. Didn't he? Just if it is an action verb. But for example, if the statement contains a verb to be in past, so the idea is to include it in a negative way. So we are going to use they were sorry, were here until midnight, weren't they? So we use here they weren't they, positive, negative. And the same case happens with the past continuous. Yep, and the present perfect simple. And the present perfect simple, remember that is subject plus auxiliary verb on the perfect tenses, that is have here, or has in that case of the third person. The verb in past participle. But when we want to use the present perfect simple in a tag question, we don't have to use the complements, or maybe from the verb in past participle onto the end of the complement in the tag question. No, that is the easiest part. The easiest part, there's going to be we are going to construct subject plus auxiliary verb in perfect tenses, that is in present perfect, have, verb in past participle, and the complements. So we say we have written 3 books during 2 years. Haven't we? Why haven't? Because it is here the verb to be, the auxiliary verb, sorry. Yep, have, haven't. The conclusion, what is? There are different steps to write or to use a tag question. The first step is going to be to write the statement. That, for example, this. Write the statement. Write the statement. Computers are used to work virtually. Notice the subject, the second step. Notice the subject. What is the subject? The computers. Or you can say they, because computers refer to they. Look at the tense. What is the tense? Here is in passive voice, but here we are going to use the auxiliary verb in present. So we are going to use here in positive, negative, the verb to be. Yep. Then notice if positive or negative, then already do it. Locate at the second part here. And use the auxiliary verb that you identify the tense, con el que ustedes identifican el tiempo. Here, in present, so we are going to include the subject. So, in virtually here, computers, it is a second person, aren't. Computers, they, and they. That is another case with my new classmates tells me the teacher is from Cartagena. Doesn't he? So the subject is he, my teacher. Oh, my new classmate. My new classmate, where we refer he. And word of action of verbs of action. We refer tells, because why tells? Why not tell? But also tells because it is he. Remember, in present simple, we have to use the conjugation with the third person. Tells me the teacher is from Cartagena, doesn't he? So it is an action verb. We are going to use do. That it is a third person. Yep, doesn't. Why doesn't? Because it is positive and here is negative. Okay, guys, that is the explanation of the part of the question tag. Remember that we are going to use them in order to confirm or to reaffirm an information that we have heard. Yes, guys? Okay, perfect. Now, be careful, practice all the statements, and continue working on your English way.